But I'd like to introduce you to Mike Bennett. I'm sure you know his name on the group, and he's just going to share his story as well with you.
My favourite memory of the Mail Online feature where Mike was, we used to see people write comments. And there was a lady who wrote, "Yeah, I would."
That was my favourite comment.
I think it was a lady.
Right, so luckily for me, possibly all of you as well, we are obviously running behind. So I'll go through this as quickly as I can. Obviously I'm a bit nervous, so apologies if I go and hide behind there. I'll shout a bit louder so you can hear me. Okay, so each talk and presentation that we've had so far is for the most helpful and inspiring people that I've ever come across. So when I was asked to be a part of this by Sue and James, my first overwhelming feeling was fear. Still kind of is, you can see me shaking. What was I going to talk about? How can I possibly compare to the amazing people on the bill? I've always suffered from low self-esteem and a lack of confidence, so what could I possibly bring to the table? But then it hit me. I'd talk to you all about that, about my fears, my insecurities, my weight loss journey, but also about how I found myself. So if you're willing to listen to me for the next few minutes, I'll lay it all on the line for you. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. If it works.
It's press. You get your finger. No, it's behind actually. It's not on. Always make sure the arrow is.
Yeah. You can tell me if you want to.
You can just press space.
So I'm Michael, and I've always been overweight. I'm a 34-year-old father of 2 girls. I know what you're thinking, but yeah, I am 34. It's just been a hard life. For as long as I can remember, I've had a love-hate relationship with food. I love to eat, but I hate how I feel afterwards. I've always believed that my unhappiness stemmed from being so overweight. I think that's something that we all kind of fundamentally believe. Thin people equal happy people. Well, I always wanted to appear happy in order to fit in. Let's see if this one works. Nope, okay, I'm going to use the space bar. So I wore a mask. Not literally a mask, but I accentuated certain traits about myself that I believed people would like. As you can see. I buried deep down the negative things that I believed about myself. I was cocky, confident, flirty, funny, and outgoing. I think you're all going to laugh at this. But on the inside, I was miserable. I spent the best part of 15 years having these 2 personalities. Michael was a shy and insecure person who felt disgusted when he looked in the mirror at what he'd become. At my heaviest, I was well in excess of 21 stone. My local pizza delivery place sent me birthday and Christmas cards. And I was going nowhere fast, literally. Bennett, however, the name of my own alter ego that I'd created, was so outgoing and confident that the weight didn't seem to matter. When I was around my friends, I was always Bennett, and I was so larger than life, I exuded confidence. Was I happy? No, I wasn't, but I was bloody good at masking it. So for half my life, I tried every trick in the book to try and lose weight, whilst keeping it relatively hidden away from the people that knew me, apart from my wife, of course. My life became a slog of endless diets, classes, weighing foods, checking labels, counting calories. The successes were fantastic, but the resulting failures were devastating. I just wasn't learning anything. Losing weight wasn't about choosing healthy choices all the time. It's about reprogramming that urge to binge. It's about being sensible, about showing willpower, about not punishing yourself when you failed. But at the time, I didn't know any of that. I just got to the point where I was starting to challenge myself with my life because I was sick of accepting mediocrity and depression. So I took up boxing in order to lose weight and raise money for charity. It went well. I enjoyed the training, and in November of 2014, I had my first and only fight. I'm in red. I won my fight, and I raised over £600 for charity. I lost about 2 stone during that training and was feeling on top of the world. However, I broke my thumb and I was in plastic cast for 8 weeks. During that time, I was devastated and all the weight piled back on. So I needed to find the next fad diet to try. I'd already tried everything else. What could there possibly be? It was during the new year of 2015, Jesus, that picture, when I stumbled across Easy Loss. I tried everything else, so why not give it a go? What could I possibly lose? $4.99 seemed like the least of my worries. God, I was so sceptical at first. I'd certainly never been one for listening to hypnosis. And I'm trying to lose weight, and here's a woman telling me about my toes. And as for the guidelines, well, I'd spent my entire adult life restricting myself, trying all kinds of pills, potions, shakes and the like. So for someone to tell me that I could eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted it, how was that possible? Anyway, I gave it a go. Within weeks I was sleeping the best I had in a long time, and I could slowly see the weight coming off. Right, I'm going to jump forward a minute, because the metaphor will help me explain my journey a lot better. Currently I'm hovering around 15 stone, and I'm a keen runner. I never did any physical activity, unless walking to the fridge counted. So for me to now have this new lease of life is amazing. I've taken part in many races over the past 12 months, and I've done Total Warrior twice. I did a thing back in May called Outrun, which was where you pledged to run a certain amount during that month, and people would sponsor you to do it. Well, I decided to challenge myself further. So for every £5 that I raised, I would run another mile on top of what I'd already pledged. By the 31st of May, I'd raised nearly £300 and had run 78 miles, the equivalent of 3 marathons. Okay, so with that bit of information, let's jump back to my journey. I'm an impatient man. Look at that, fruit bowl, fantastic. I expect results. If I've eaten good all week and haven't lost a ton of weight, then I'd see it as a major disappointment. This failure to hit my own high expectations would often result in self-sabotage and eventually failure. But the Easy Loss way, and I think the running, helped me realise that becoming a slim, fit, healthy person wasn't a race. My impatience became very apparent with my scales addiction. I would weigh myself religiously, morning, noon, night. After every meal, every bowel movement, I would literally take every single item of clothing and jewellery off to try and get that figure as low as I possibly can. I thought this was normal and that everyone did it, but the people in the Tesco pharmacy watching me do it didn't think so. But my journey had begun. Now I'd got my head around the guidelines, I was beginning to drop weight at a rate I was happy with. As the months rolled on, I felt happy with the progress I was making. Sure, there were a few off weeks, but I didn't dwell on them like I previously had in the past. And I guess, most importantly, I didn't see them as an excuse to just give up. By Christmas of 2015, I'd lost over 3 stone and had done a few races to take full advantage of this newfound energy that I had. Okay, I'm going to warn you now that for the next few minutes this is going to go a little dark. So everyone take a deep breath. Everyone, I want to see them. That's good. I do apologise if I get emotional during this bit. I know I did a bit before, so. Alright. I was going to take all this section out, but I didn't think it was a true reflection of my journey, and I felt this little bit was beneficial to just one of you, then it's worth keeping in. I started to hit many hurdles on my own weight loss journey. Now, as I've stated before, I firmly believe that when I was thinner, I would be instantly happier. All of the issues and failings that I've had in my life, I put down to one simple thing: my weight. People didn't seem to like me. It's because I'm fat, I told myself. Can't get that promotion I've always wanted. It's my weight. I've no success with women. Curse this addiction to garlic bread. When I lost the weight, I expected to feel better about myself. The doors would instantly open up to me and my confidence and self-esteem would just skyrocket. Well, I'm here to tell you that didn't happen. I continued to lose yet more weight through the early portion of 2016, but my mood was plummeting rapidly. I couldn't even put my mask on anymore and pretend to be someone I wasn't. I can honestly say it was like I was grieving my fat self. The man I was so used to being for so long was gone, and I was a lost, empty shell. But I was determined not to just let that all go to waste. Okay, so I had lost a lot of weight, but I'd also lost so much more. I lost my relationship with my friends, my confidence, my self-respect, my drive and ambition, and almost my family. So many times I almost threw the towel in. Life was so much easier when I was fat, I thought, but I'd just come too far to go back now. So I did something that I'd never really done in the past. I asked for help. I went to see a counsellor to talk about my issues. I started going to cognitive behaviour therapy about my physical symptoms of anxiety and panic attacks. I'd developed a real issue around the feeling of being full and would constantly feel nauseous, which in turn led to me develop a fear of being sick. As my weight was dropping and I was becoming the best physical shape of my life, I was mentally in no man's land. You see, the thing is, when you're feeling lost and down, it's near impossible to see positives and to not be overly hard on yourself. Talking through things with my counsellor made life during this period more bearable, but I was taking everything to heart and dwelling on every conversation and comment, however innocuous. The three things that people would often say to me during my intense weight loss and depression period. I think I probably can call it a depression period at this stage, but at the time I wouldn't accept that, and I'd never considered taking medication or anything to help me. But these things, no matter how simple, would both hurt and infuriate me. You look good. I bet you're feeling much better about yourself. I couldn't stand people saying this to me. I really felt like screaming, "You don't know what I'm going through!" I felt like a failure. I couldn't see any positives at that moment in time. So for people to be so trivial really hurt me. I do realise now that they weren't saying anything malicious, but I was in a really bad place at the time. "Wow, you look fantastic. You must be so proud." Again, this was a hard one to hear, because truth be told, I don't think I've ever really been proud of myself in my life before. And yeah, losing a lot of weight is something for us all to be very proud of. But I didn't know that feeling, and I was far too busy dwelling on the state I got myself into, or just how much further I still had to go. I never really stopped to take stock of what I had achieved. Probably the single most difficult thing for someone who's lost weight to hear, certainly in my experience, is this. How much weight have you lost? God, I hate that question. It puts so much pressure on me to give an answer. I think it's a rude question to ask, and while I appreciate it shows the person is interested, I just don't feel it's acceptable. It seems perfectly acceptable for people to ask a fat, or formerly fat person, questions like we're fair game. When I used to say, "Oh, I've lost 7 stone," I could see people mentally trying to work out what I used to weigh. But because I used to always kid myself, and often others, that was only about 18 stone or so. They'd go, 18, take away 7, that's 11 stone. Well, I'm clearly not that. So I'd often hurriedly try and move the conversation forward, or self-deprecatingly say, "I want to lose a bit more yet though." I once had this woman start a conversation with me at work. "Wow, I haven't seen you for a while. You look amazing." Although the compliment hurt me slightly, as compliments always do, I need to get over that. I was already preparing myself to answer the obvious question that she was about to ask. However, from out of nowhere, she then said, "So how much do you weigh now?" This took me totally by surprise. I wasn't expecting that. I was so taken aback. I just told her, literally to the pound. I didn't know how to deal with that line of questioning. This was a new one on me. Then she abruptly said, "Still a long way to go for you then?" And off she wandered. I was crushed. I mean, literally biting my bottom lip, devastated. I dashed back downstairs and back to my van and sobbed for ages. I ate a lot over the next few days, I can tell you that. But that's the thing, people don't realise that it's hard. People don't know just how much physical and emotional stuff you've gone through to get to this point. The assumption is that you've stopped eating shit, started eating salads and going to the gym, and somehow a miracle has just happened. But for a fat person, and I don't like saying the word fat because there's so much more to all of us than just that one word. This journey is so difficult and so demanding that sometimes it will get on top of you and you will need help and support. Coming to the realisation that I wasn't alone if I just looked for the support of others made the journey easier and forced me to grow emotionally as I lost the weight. My biggest realisations during this period were: your weight doesn't define who you are. Just because you're bigger than other people, that doesn't mean that you deserve less of their love, admiration, or support. Your mental well-being is as equally as important as your physical health. You need to take care of both of them in equal measures. If you neglect one or the other, it'll ultimately make you unhappy. Probably the most important one. Your weight is just a number. There are so many other aspects to who we are. Don't let that one figure on a scale define what makes us happy. I know I did for so long, and I wasn't happy. Okay, we're through that dark period now. You can all go. So that pretty much brings us back up today. I've currently lost over 7 stone, and I'm continuing to feel fitter and healthier. The gout that I've suffered from for many years has completely gone. I found the confidence to talk to a doctor about my constant hemorrhoids that I suffered with for many years, and I recently underwent surgery to get them sorted once and for all. Isn't it weird that I spent so many years being afraid to talk to one person about them, and yet I've literally just told them. Ignore the headline, I didn't lose 7 stone in 12 weeks. Okay. It's taken me a long time to get to this point and to stop and take stock of what I've achieved. Okay, so I have lost a ton of weight, and that's great. But when I really sat down and thought about it, there's so many other things that I've done over the past 2 years. I trained for and won a boxing match. I've done 2 total warriors. I ran several 10Ks. I ran the equivalent of 3 marathons in a month. I've raised over £1,000 for various charities. I've gone through counselling and CBT. I've been in the Easy Loss book, done podcasts, started my own weekly radio show, made many new friends, braved colon surgery, rekindled old and forgotten friendships, and started planning new and exciting challenges for the future. So in conclusion, this weight loss journey hasn't been as plain sailing as I thought it would be, and I've stumbled plenty along the way, but I've just kept on going. The important things that people need to take away from today is that it isn't a race, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, as they're all running their own marathon, and they all have a different... Yeah, that shirt needs to be really tight on me. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, as they're all running their own marathon and they all have a different finishing line to yours. Keep strong, keep determined, and don't be afraid to seek help from others if you feel you need it. Did losing the weight make me happier? Honestly, I can tell every single one of you, no, it didn't. But losing weight gave me the opportunities to get out there and make myself happy. Losing weight gave me the eye-opening realisation that I needed to make things happen for myself. Losing weight made me take responsibility for myself and gave me the drive and confidence to go and reach for the stars. I'd lost the weight slowly, I lost the weight sensibly, but most importantly, I lost the weight for me. Thank you all.